Okay, so I wasn't gonna make this video, but look down at my phone. Right as I look down, it's 222. So let's manifest and create the reality that we desire. Let's go with this. Okay, so let's talk about time. Does time exist? When you think about it, no, not really. Time actually doesn't exist. Time is an illusory aspect of this world in order to count measurements, in order to count movements, or you could even say frames, right? In video games, it's known as FPS, frames per second. And you could even look at that's a measurement of time within a video game. So if we're looking at a measurement of time for ourselves and asking, does time exist? We'll first look at, is time linear? Do we all perceive time the same? Or do we perceive time in different ways and in different variables? Because I might perceive that time is going very, very fast, but you might perceive that time is going by very slow, right? What creates this perception, right? How can I be feeling time fast and you're feeling time slow if time exists, if it's solid, if it's linear, if it's all the same, right? So this shows that actually our mind affects time. Our mind affects reality. And on top of that, if you want to learn the secrets of manifestation or the secrets of magic, a lot of it is actually going to be wrapped up in understanding time. And yes, I might be saying that time is an illusion or illusory, but this does not mean that it's not an aspect of our current reality, right? Because time is still just like duality, right? At the end of the day, it's beyond duality. It's beyond good and evil, but yet there still is a good and an evil based off perception. It's the same thing pretty much with time. If we perceive it to be, then it will be, It is there. But we can also, in a sense, cut through time by using our perception, by using our focus, which this would then also place us in a flow state. And by us being in a flow state, right, we're now not feeling the limitations of time. So by in a sense using our perception, using our focus, we're able to cut through time, proving that it's not actually there, right? And the ways in which we can do this is actually through ritual, and then as well manifestation. In manifestation, if we already perceive that we are at the end and we can feel that, then we are actually already at the end through the feeling. Now, if you are, you are an occultist, a witch, a magician, magician, or a practitioner in these ways, okay, so you guys most likely have done a ritual, right? Have you ever been in ritual and then in a sense, there's something that you need to achieve and you're trying to achieve at a faster rate, whether it be, learning some form of wisdom with King Paimon or with Thoth, or whether it be going into the astral realms. There's so many things that we could do. Healing, right? So say you were meant to heal 3 months from now, but you want to heal right now and in this moment. So the way in which you would actually heal would be to then go into ritual. And what it's going to do, in a sense, time is like this. So you're here, and then you want to be 3 months later over here, right? So the way in which this happens is just like in that quantum physics experiment where they drop a bowling ball in the center, right? It's going to bend down, and then imagine these two parts, they were away, they're now going to bridge together, right? The bowling ball brings them together, and then now, in a sense, you've created a bridge through space and time, right? This is what magic is. This is as well how we can use invocation to create the reality in which we desire at a faster rate, to learn something at a faster rate. Because you don't have to just read, you can do a spell or a ritual, right? Say you're doing a ritual to Thoth to become more intelligent. If I can understand the vibration of what I'm trying to achieve, it's not exactly time is the measurement. Time isn't the measurement for what I'm trying to achieve, right? You can't quantify self-mastery with time, because to quantify it with time means that if I put in 10,000 hours, then I am a master. But is it 10,000 perfect hours, right? No. So really, if you could put in a whole bunch of time that's perfect time, like if you're trying to master writing, right? It's not just writing for 10,000 hours, or 10,000 hours, but being good at writing, right? So maybe you write so many stories, or you write so many articles, or you write so many posts, right? And then from writing perfect practice equals perfect performance. Perfect practice equals perfect performance. So as long as you are performing perfectly, then you always have a perfect performance. So then you're always learning, you're always getting better, you're always growing at something. But if you're just being lazy or slacking at it, then it almost doesn't really matter how much time you put into it. It's not perfect practice. It's not perfect amount of time, right? Or it's not perfect amount of value based off of the time that was put in, right? So we can be enlightened at any moment. It's, for some people it takes a few years, for some people it takes 10 years of meditation, right? It's really based off who you are, what you do, how solid you are, how constricted, or how expansive you are, because we need to constrict and then expand, constrict and then expand, constrict and then expand, and then at some point we become the limitless, infinite nature of the all. But until then, we have limitations. We are limited to this reality in a lot of different ways, whereas time being one of them, not exactly a limitation, but more just a measurement. It's like, why does time exist? To make the game more fun. If nobody died, then we wouldn't be respectful of those that have passed on and have died. We wouldn't be as grateful that they lived. If and just like if people were dying all of the time, or I'm so sorry, if just like in that same way that people, really, if people were always alive, we wouldn't really respect them as much, because it's like, oh, when are you, when, like, are you always going to be here? No. But so truly it's about looking at time as more an illusory measurement. Don't quantify everything based off time, but instead put time, cut through time using your perception, and then you can also use your magic to bend time, to manipulate time based off your will. You can do that. You can learn a lot about time magic from different gods and goddesses, such as Kali Ma. She's a really good deity when it comes to with working with time, understanding time and space magic, right? Dimensional magic. Then there's also Kronos, who is the god of time for the Greek pantheon. Let me think. King Paimon's really good at this as well. And just always know that if you are dealing with time magic, that whatever you take, so if you slow down time for a brief period of time, then it's going to speed up time in another period, right? So whatever you take, you always give. Law of equivalent exchange, right? So these are things that when you can understand the universal laws, you're not fighting them anymore, right? Because as a magician, there's things that we can try to push into the universe, but it might not always create the effect in which we desire. And then you have to understand, you have to, in a sense, understand what you're doing with that in that way. So with that, you guys, that is going to be just a video on understanding time, the perception of time, and time magic. I am your host, O'Shea. As well, you can call me Cool Cat or Atanu, for this is my magical name. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day. If anybody needs me, all my stuff is down below. You can reach me at OccultcatTv@gmail.com, and this is the end of the video. Hope you guys are having a beautiful day. Peace. I'm out.